Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once again to Frostpunk campaign, as we are in week 15 right now in New London, and it's already the second mission, and we actually have a promise right now, the forged additives, that is about to be finished because we have the cooldown off now, so I can actually go in here and now go for the food additives. I want to check out what's over there. The guard enforcers is actually something that we could pass, right? That is pretty powerful. And I might be thinking about this one. But first, let's do the promise. Also, it's pretty nice promise because we do get a bit of food during the calm weather there from my people. Of course, the other law is actually better because it provides more food if you have a food extraction going. Plus, it also produces more food than during a storm. So both of that would be better. But for now, let's actually fulfill this promise. 43 votes. This should be fine. A lot of people are against it, but a lot of people are for it. And we just need a couple of them for the next going here. There it is. Close it was. And this increases my relationship there right away with my Frostlanders that we have them. Alright, next in line, we are about also to finish then the researching of the Dust Coal Mine in 7 weeks. This is my next target here that we have. And then build this right away on my extraction zone. Until then, well, that's a lot of waiting time that we could use to start the food production, right? Because we are actually slacking on this now. And we have already frostbroken our way to this infinite source there that I probably would like to aim for. The problem that we have on this map right away is that the infinite is always far away from the others, right? So we would need to stretch these districts quite a bit if we want to make it work. So I'm actually going ahead and we're going to build this one here now. And as you can see, I can only get the second one in here. And then we need to expand that district over there to get this one in as well, right? But that would leads the food district here now very vulnerable to the winds. Well, that's a cost I need to take here right now to solve this problem. The other thing that we definitely will need to tackle at some point, even though the game doesn't tell me that yet, is of course materials. And that is something we have then down here. And we could combine the materials then with an industry zone. There's no other way for me to do this actually, right? We can't do the... I mean, we have lots of materials here. But there is my way station. So I'm pretty sure we are also going to need to go with to the Frostlands at some point here. So let's actually frost break our way to this area here, right? So that we have then a nice juicy area for materials. And also for an industry zone, something like that along the line. 5 more weeks for the Dust Coal Mine. And we are also now frost breaking this one. Very good. We can do this basically endless at this point because we have so many heat stamps. There is a shelter down there. This is great. This would be actually pretty great for the industry zone. That by default requires a lot of heat. So if I go down here already, yep, we can actually already take in 3 of these tiles. That would be fine already. Yeah, we can leave it as that. And I'm frost breaking my way to this old way station down here now. This will definitely take 2 turns, right? So there will be another turn that we need to do this. And then we have that way station ready for action as well. So far so good. Basically no homelessness. I could expand one more, right? Yep, there it is. Let's expand one more housing district. So that we have no more homelessness at all. The frost breaking is done. I'm not building the districts yet because I really want to see what's up, what's next, right, on this list here. Coal-wise, this is super important that we finish this now. There it is. And let's go ahead and build me the Dust Coal Mine on my coal district here, because this will lead to a very positive output then of coal. That is something we're needing. The generator is revered and respected by the stalwarts. Yay! It's your only life source anyway, so it doesn't matter if you respect it. Construct a newly research. Yeah, there it is. Oh, by the way, we could research something else now. And it's probably... Usually my go-to would be the sawmill, if I'm not entirely against anything else here. So I would like to go with the mechanized one. It takes more heat, but that should be fine since it's going to be in a sheltered area anyway. It's a lot more heat though, right? The mechanized one. Let's still go with that. There, we've built it. A lack of common rules among our people can lead to trouble, but as the council debates the future of the city, all are concerned about the day our last coal deposit runs out. We must explore the Frostland for more source of fuel, or else the city will have no future at all. In this case, build a logistics district. Hooray! We're about to do this. Just need to frost break this one here. And find a permanent source of fuel outside of the city. Shelter we have. Coal is coming in now enough too. We have now coal for 151 weeks and then this runs out. So this will probably survive as the first whiteout, but that's it then. Food, of course, is another main problem. And materials anyway. But let's actually focus on the logistics. And build this one too. There it is. Let's immediately let's immediately expand it. To get another 5 teams out. You always want to expand this one really quickly. Because then you have 20 Frostland teams and you can use 2 expeditions at the same time. And makeshift shelters, overpopulation and dwindling fuel reserves forced many residents of New London to take refuge in these temporary shelters built around a small hot spring. Its inhabitants wait for conditions to improve enough for them to return home. We could already take them home. That's a lot of people, so I'm not doing this yet. We rather want to start with the expeditions. And where we have no possible potential fuel sources here right now. Nope. Let's go for the foothills for my first team. And we should actually finish that expansion. There it is. To also have the Frozen Bay expedition started. So both of them we can do now at the same time using all my Frostland teams. Off they go. What a beautiful game, really. Look at that we can zoom out and in of that so easily. It's incredible. All the way to the generator. In the meantime, I should go for another law. The paid essentials is usually my first law that I'm always going for because it increases your production efficiency and it also increases your heat stump income. So that's 2 very powerful bonuses that you get out of that. However, we will definitely need to get someone in on this. The New Londoners would like to have the mass-produced goods as my next law, and that is a law that I'm usually also going for. Or city development effort is also super nice because it gives you the prefabs. But in this case, let's go for the mass-produced laws. This is something that I need to do anyway pretty soon now. So with that, not only get we the law that we want, we can also increase our trust with our factions at the same time. To probably tax them again. There you go. Production boost. That's also nice on my coal that we have now. Mass-produced law is the next one. And we are also about to finish the mechanized sawmill. I don't have an extraction zone yet. So I'm actually... You know what? Let's actually work in advance here. Why not? I'm usually very hesitant about this. But we can actually do this here, right? There we got the stable area. And I would like to get my extraction zone going here now. All the way to that zone there. And also taking this one in. Getting the materials on board is important. We're running low on the heat stamps. So in 13 weeks we can get extra tax again. Mechanized sawmill, there it is. Next tack is probably my factory already, right? So prefabs and goods production at the same time with the salvaging factory. The mechanical one once again needs a bit more heat, but produces or requires actually less workforce. Let's go with the workforce though, because we have that. That would be the industry zone then that I would also like to build. And actually, can we frost break here please a bit more? There you go. Also, food district. Food district. Let's expand this one to that food zone there, right? So we get a bit more food then in its range, and we also have then the building slot for the hothouse available once we research this tag. Hold the season, and this now puts us into a deficit again for the coal, despite having now a coal mine here. So an emergency shift might do wonders, or we are actually working a bit on the overdrive. Let's do this. Just a bit. Not too much, otherwise we risk too many injuries. There's my material deposit now working. Very good. We can then go ahead and get us the industry zone going, right? So we get the maximum bonus out of that. Wait a second. There. Because there we get the logistics district too, and with the expansion of the industry zone, we can actually get the maximum bonus then for the logistics, the material deposit, and the industry zone. All of this important to preserve heat. Alright. We're still scouting. Not that much we can do over there right now. And we're also finishing that industry zone now. There you go. Prefabs it is right now. We could actually switch to goods production already because we have this... we don't have any prefabs then. But we still have 600, so that should be fine. Let's produce goods. This will increase my trust and reduce my tension and also crime. 5 children are dead and dozens lay wounded after large youth gangs met for what they called a rumble. Most of the children were armed with knives. The fighting escalated to a full-scale battle. As the parents of the deceased mourn, many insist these children should not have been left unattended. And we need to commit to a family apprenticeship or the mandatory school. That would be a new law. Now, I can actually go for the mass-produced goods now. That is the next promise that we had. That's here. And it's good that we have it now, because we have the goods production now up and running. The majority is for this. Absolutely. So I don't need to do any new promises or something like that. Very good. Trust rises. And also, we are now almost, equal there on the goods. It's enough. It's enough to keep the crime low. However, I will definitely need to work on the mechanized sawmill now. So let's build this one. Because with the industry zone, we are raising now our consumption of material too much. Right, there it is. With that, we have now positive material surplus, so I can actually reduce the stress on my population by reducing the work efficiency here. All right, we have scouted. The others, a cavern near the bay, we found a disturbing sight. Bodies in sturdy Frostland gear, neatly laid side by side and left to freeze, with black oil markings over their closed eyes. A ghastly burial ritual. A map we found suggests they were heading to an old machine. This gives me a note. Here we have Frostlanders waiting. Here we have more Frostlanders waiting. Here we could get two cores. And here we can store prefabs. Or we can use the mine for a more supply. Let's keep all of this available for now. Nothing of it is something that we need. There is a potential source of fuel over there. Let's go for this. And there is a potential source of coal over here. Let's go for this. 2 more expeditions that we have going now. Frostland has proposed a salvaging factory. We have a new research now. It is the hothouse, of course, that we need. Bio-waste hothouse or the chemical hothouse. I'm actually inclined to go with the bio-waste hothouse. This costs me more workforce again, but we have just the amount of workforce that we need for this bio-waste hothouse. So I'm going with this. Infectious agents. During a routine medical examination performed by stalwarts, a small group of Frostlanders refused to be assessed. These checkups are relics of years past when a cough could endanger the city. That's gone now. We've adapted. The stalwarts maintain that regular physical help ensures the safety of our workers. We can now side with the stalwarts, and I'm actually going with them. We should have basic physical checkups from time to time. And with this, actually, we have the stalwarts now on our side, so they endorse us. With them, we can activate the special action here, mobilize enforcers. This gives me another 5 squads. In this case, that can help us reduce the crime. For now, we don't have a crime though. So it's absent, right? So there's no reason to actually do this. It's definitely one of the weakest endorsement actions. There's much better ones, right? Many better ones. So in this case here, I like the technocrats the most that boost their research speed or also produce their production efficiency.
A new model is safer than a repurposed one.
Hothouse, great, because in 77 weeks we're out of food. It's not mandatory really to have this right now. Mandatory is really that we find fuel. The next law, this time of course it is the childhood promise that we have. And either with faster research or maybe with more workers. Both of them are very good. In this case here I'm going with the research speed increase, and the heat stamp income is a bit lower with that. But that's okay, because we're getting a faster research that is also powerful. We need to negotiate though. The Londoners would like to have the blast foundry or the city development effort. I'm actually inclined to go with them now, because we do need the prefab bonus. And hooray, that was actually quite a big surplus now here, or, well, majority. And we get the stalwarts more on our side now, and also the New Londoners are quite on us. We could actually now raise funds again. And let's do this. Let's raise some 200 more. And yeah, 1,200 more people joined. I was expecting this actually. So we have a bit more workforce again, that's great. But we do need another housing district, that's bad. Because this requires more heating again. Let's build it here to get the maximum bonus out of it. And I'm probably will need to frost break here to expand the housing district then to get even more heat bonus out of it. That's going to be important. With that, we have now enough workforce to build the salvaging factory. This would, in theory, solve my goods problem, but I'm not doing this just yet. Because I think that's not something that is necessary. We have some goods supplied here, most of it. Heating is the major problem now. There's the housing. And the lack of law regulating contagion prevention is causing tension. Another demand. Housing has been fulfilled, but of course more heating is required, so we're running out of coal now in 22 weeks. Let's just hope that my scouts find something. Bio-waste hothouse would solve my food problem, but the hothouse will require 20 additional heat. That's not that much actually for the 70 food we get in addition. Let's build it. Another research we can do now. I'm inclined to go with housing insulation. This will reduce my heat demand, basically. For all my housing districts when the temperature rises. For now we have 0 heat demand in my housing districts, but of course it will go up over time. And another radical faction, the Pilgrims. I already don't like them. And it's a more radical faction of the Frostlanders. They dislike my mass-produced goods, the paid essentials and the mandatory school. So basically they're going to be my biggest enemy of for this session here, I think. The Pilgrims. They're only at 6% though right now, so that's okay. Hothouse has been finished, so with that we have a food surplus now. So much that I probably could reduce it here a bit. Let's actually reduce it a bit. We have now 1,300 weeks of food left. That's fine. Scouting has been finished now. There you go. We found oil. On the broken shore lies an old derelict dreadnought. It seems to have been upgraded to run on oil as it rests beside rich deposits. Perhaps the site was a refueling station, but deep in the black pools lie rows of frozen bodies, wrapped in shrouds and placed in the still wells. Our scouts shudder at the sight. These oil deposits would surely solve our fuel needs, but we would have to desecrate these graves to access them. Remove the bodies, of course. Oil will save the city, but we need to adapt our generator to use it. In the meantime, we'll need to establish a reliable supply. It's time we settle beyond New London. Create a colony on the old dreadnought. So this is the dreadnought. I think that was the first mission. Yep, it is, right? So here, we will build that then. But it's going to take us some time. Let's have a look what we have here too. There's an oil cistern. So this would be another oil supply. Here, we can salvage 3 cores. Not bad. 50,000 coal stockpile. I'm inclined to go with that right away. And here we can build a food outpost. That's also something that we keep intact. Let's actually collect the stockpile here. Right. Let's also collect the 3 cores, because that is then just one row of Frostlands of teams. And here we could launch an expedition again. So I'm also going with that for now. Or let's start connecting the path with my remaining Frostland team, right? This will take 3 weeks. Let's do this. Let's connect that right away. And of course, what we also need is we need to research the adaptive pumps then for my generator to use oil. But for now, the coal stockpile that we're going to get will last us already for quite some time. This should be a nice short-term solution. And for this, I'm also going to actually put my food district up there again, because now we have the supply for quite some time at least. So let's just wait this out. I'm also very much tempted now to build my salvaging factory. It's just a bit more heat. But we are then totally out of workforce, which is not bad, I think. Let's go ahead and build this. It also gives me a steady supply of prefabs. Very good. The supplies are in. And I can send the Frostlands out there now again. So first of all, we have now finished this. I can send colonists over now, but we don't have that many. So what I can do is I can now get some of these people in. There's 2,600 New Londoners waiting right around the corner. So now we're going to push them in. And here, a mining complex. That's a possible settlement. Using the mine will take more Frostland teams. But we get 300 prefabs. I don't need the prefabs, right? So let's keep the prefabs. And get 250 coal permanently out of this. And, okay. I'm inclined to go with this too. There's also 2 cores here. Let's take them. Let's really salvage what we can find here. The food, the 100 surplus, is also nice, but we don't really need it right now. And there's the survivors coming in, right? With that, we have now lots of people here that I don't need. So what we're doing is now we're going to send them over to the colony, right? Send the colonists over. They're settling there now, and New London loses them again, right? So that's great, because we were straining our resources too much. And transfer at least 75 oil output to New London and establish the colony. That's all nice. A city development effort can actually be done now too. There it is. And yeah, most of the people actually go for this, so let's actually just vote on that right away. To finish this promise here, get the trust up, and probably get an endorsement there too. Not quite there, but it was close with the New Londoners. Stuart, this morning a house has been found walled off from the rest of its neighborhood. The inhabitants escaped after a while, but they found that local shops and amenities refused to service them. I don't know who did it, but it's for the best. 10 people got all sort of bugs. The latest spread of influenza has indeed hit the district hard. We need to commit to actually go with quarantine or with infectious badges as a new law. Alright, asbestos lining is about to be finished. We don't quite have all the heat stamps, so I'm actually inclined to take money from the Frostlanders. Right, so that we have enough money now to also start the next research, which is now immediately. Okay, generator upgrade, we can't do that yet because it requires 75 oil supply from New London. What? What is this? Requires 75 oil supply. And if you heard that, that was my cat. My cats that are actually fighting in the background. For survival, I think. Alright. Dropping my books from the bookshelf. Cutthroat economy. Stuart, now that we're charging for essentials, some unemployed families are unable to afford basic necessities. Alright. We could allow this. And I just extra tax them from time to time. Let's do that. And let's take extra money also from my New Londoners here. Oh, 30 weeks still. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. We have a good surplus of goods right now. What is going on with this upgrade here, though? Alright. What could I do in the meantime? That puts me off a bit right now, because I was absolutely going for this. I was eyeing it already. There's no other tech that I would need right now. The pump checks is something I need in the fuel colony at some point, so we might as well just go for it now. But I have no other need right now, right? The coal is going down in 23 weeks. The temperature dropped again just now, right? So we're at -40 now. It's super important that we finish this colony here. Now, there is actually the coal supply, but I can't do anything here right now. So we can only wait for this to be established. I could get this one in on time as well at some point. That's an emergency route that we have. Alright, communities are fine. We are not using the machine district here on full deposit. That's also great. So we have some room here still to whittle around. I could, by the way, reduce, the efficiency of one of my housing districts so that we reduce the amount of heat. The expedition has arrived now at the colony. Biowaste Hothouse. Stuart, our Biowaste Hothouse has begun cooperating with people who forage for food additives. On top of the regular duties, they provide it with leaves, animal carcasses and feces in order to enrich its compost. We get a bit more food out of it. That's a nice event. So we can actually reduce its load and thus reduce my heat demand for it too. It's actually pretty great. Okay, the colony is being established right now. And there it is. We have finished at the old dreadnought. So let's have a look inside again. At my prologue mission, right? There we are. There is some basic food, oil here right away. We can activate the generator with that. Of course, we know now that there is oil here. So I'm actually going to go for this immediately. We are also going to need a housing district here. So I'm going to build this right along the dreadnought. Actually, I just need one, right? If I expand this one, it should be fine. Food is fine for now. We could send some goods over then. I think we have a nice good surplus. Yep. In New London. So let's just send some goods over so that these people have that. That reduces tension and crime and increases your heat stamp income, right? So if you have enough goods supplied. A new law, by the way, contagion prevention. That would be the next one now that we have over there. And the stalwarts would go for the badge. I would actually also like to go for the badge because the quarantine increases your shelter income, your shelter demand, which can really backfire. For this, I would like to check how many shelter we still have left. Quite a bit, right? +9. But you need one full district for this law. So that's something I cannot afford really. I'm inclined to go with the stalwarts there again, but we are already at max with them. It's a difficult decision. Let's go with the badge. And let's give the Londoners probably a new promise here. The advanced chemical hothouse would be something we can just quickly research. It's not a big deal. I could also just quickly research the dust coal mine. The Frostlanders would like that. And it can't hurt to have the Frostlanders on our side there to some extent, right? So let's actually give them the dust coal mine. I need to build it. That's bad. Let's research the composite factory. Just the research is fine, right? I don't want to build anything. I can just research it. With that, we have a guaranteed success on this law. This will be fine, and we can actually make the Frostlanders happy too in the process, right? So that we can extra tax them again, which is my most important goal right now. We're losing coal. We have the Frostlanders. I'm really inclined to actually send the coal over now. It should be a quick and easy path. Yeah, for weeks it's not that easy. At the old dreadnought in the meantime, we have Frostbroken, and we can now build the extraction zone over the oil. And then we need to transfer it over too, which is the next mission that we finish here then. Housing. There it is. That was actually enough already. One housing district. And there's now my extraction zone. That will not be enough oil though, for sure, right? So we have a surplus, but that's just now for the district, for the colony itself, right? So I will actually need to build me a second one. The next one is actually over there, right? Right. Let's go for it. 2 frost breaks, unfortunately. And I will also need Frostbreak here again to be able to expand this district once. So let's actually Frostbreak over there as well, so we can use a housing district on top of that again, if we need it. Mandatory school promises a better future.
A law has passed in the council.
And also the hydraulic pump check is out. Very good. And at the same time, a warmer season. That helps me out a bit with my coal right now. And at the same time, we have the pump check now for my colony. Alright, we have the Promise composite factory here. 20 weeks we basically waste on this. Not really, because I can still use it for myself as well. And let's go for my coal colony again. Oil. And let's expand this district here right away. I'm inclined to actually move in here. This increases squalor, but only by a bit. But it reduces the heating that this district requires, which just saves me overall a bit. And there we have then the hydraulic pump jack. Ah, look at that. We actually do need some money for this. Who can I tax? Nope. Nope. Stalwarts is tricky. I don't want to lose their support, and 74 heat stamp is not a lot. So we just wait it out, really. Expansion has been finished. And really, oh my god. Now people move in. It's not good. Let's build the pump jack. This gives me 80 more oil in addition. Stuart, for everyone in New London is awaiting the moment we get a steady supply of oil. So many fears would vanish, so many dreams made possible. But those dreams seem to be diverging. Stalwarts paint visions of an eternally warm London, as warm as only the eldest among us remember. But pilgrims want to use this newfound power to reach out and settle remote places on the Frostlands, making it our own. Both factions are thinking about how to use the oil now. We don't even have it in. They already dream about it. There's the pump jack. With that, we have all the oil supply that we need now, that we can send over to New London. And of course, we're doing this in the next episode of Frostpunk 2 campaign mode. I'm having a blast so far. I hope you too. Don't forget to like this video, please, if you do. And we continue onwards then. Stay tuned.